Welcome to Soulciété, the shift, the tribe, the movement. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, this is Dr. Erin, Dr. Divinity. We come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together as a community in Soulciété. We're committed to being the #1 spiritual coaching community. We are truly committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship because we truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world. And together, we are awakening 1 billion people. That is our mission. So I am so honored today because this is the very first introduction to a series that will be 52 series called Universal Law 101, Manifesting Your Dreams. So I'm literally going to be doing 52 podcasts on universal law. So I'll never forget there was a moment I had been seeking for years. I had been reading every book under the sun, going to every conference. I had, of course, been enthralled with this thing called The Secret, the book and the documentary. I had been meditating for years and years and years. I had began to see through the veil. I had really turned my life over to developing my consciousness and beginning to be obsessed with the possibility of turning on our superpowers and everything through the process of spiritual awakening. And I was introduced to a gentleman years ago. He's passed away since. He became a mentor of mine. And I remember we had been talking on the phone and we were both going to a conference at the same place. And when we met, I'll never forget one thing that he said that changed my entire life. He said, the universe has to agree with you 100% of the time. How you think it is, how you view it is, and how you feel it is, it has to reflect back with precision. And I remember my life was never the same ever since that one kind of sentence he had said, multiple sentences, I guess. And what he really was teaching was metaphysics. He was teaching universal law. And since that day in my life, that landmark day, I began to discover what is called science of mind and metaphysics and a lineage, what is called new thought, which really comes from really the old ancient thoughts of everything from Greek oracles to the Egyptians to all the lineage of all religion and all philosophy, which is truth. And so it is with great honor to deliver 52 distinctions of the one law. There is only one law, and it is the law of cause and effect. It's really how we create from spirit into the 3D realm. It is how. And I think the best way to give a metaphor of universal law is this, is we have these things called our cars, our automobiles, right? And we will get inside of our car, and as we know through marketing, our automobiles become our identity oftentimes. We identify with what car we drive with. It becomes almost like a suit that we try on and take off. But imagine that you had a car and that you got into your car and you forgot that you're not your car and you never got out of your car and you're, in your car and no one ever even teaches you how to use your car. It's like this kind of cluster of that you are this identity of the car, but you can't quite use the car. You don't even know it goes in reverse. You don't even know it can go as fast as it can. You don't even know how to use the buttons and the alarm goes off many times, right? So universal law is very similar in that it's what we're using. It's like the vehicle that we're using in this life. We get to use it, but we're not it. We're not the effect of this world. We're not our bodies. We're not our beliefs. We're not any of that. We're the spiritual being that we get to and will leave this body at some point in time, right? So universal law is how we are manifesting. It's kind of like the rules and the way that we've set up kind of this game of life. So what is universal law? And there's really only one law, but there's 52 distinctions I teach of universal law, and which we'll be going over, and will eventually become a book. So thank you for being on this extraordinary journey of the unfoldment of what will touch millions of people's lives to help them understand how to align and how to manifest in accordance to fulfill upon and manifest their dreams versus going against the law and really experiencing hell, frustration, overwhelm, and really feeling like they're the effect of life, okay? So universal laws are the way we manifest. Universal laws are the axiom of life, okay? They're like the law. It's the law. It's how it all works. Universal law or laws are the modes of operation of the creative process of life, which is the unfoldment of thought through universal law into the physical form. So what happens actually is it's really our one use, our individualized use, our condensed use of the infinite. Universal law works as a triune nature through spirit into the soul and as the body. Okay, this is the triune nature. So universal laws are informed and directed by spirit, your higher self, your pure consciousness. We direct energy upon universal law, which is universal mind, which is the subjective or subconscious mind, which is the first cause of creation. You are the first cause. Spirit is first cause. And then it basically outpictures as the womb. It goes in the subjective mind and it goes into an automated process and it reflects back with precision. Universal laws are the way energy is informed into the physical existence. It literally condenses energy into form, okay? Everything is energy and nothing is solid. Universal laws are the principles and physics of how we manifest and demonstrate. Universal laws are how the absolute fractalizes into the relative. Universal laws work without exception, equally and impersonally. The truth is the universal law doesn't know the difference between a penny and $1 billion. It just says yes. Universal law just says yes, yes, and yes. It just literally takes your energy, whatever you are informing your subjective and subconscious mind, and it is just outpicturing. It's outpicturing and reflecting back over and over again. But you have to remember that your consciousness is not just the individual consciousness. Your consciousness is the individual consciousness, the collective, and the cosmic. So everything you're seeing in the outpicturing of life is what's been created in mind. And it's not just your mind. Your circumstances and things are definitely the experience of your individual mind, but the outpicture of all of life is the outpicture of all of consciousness, and you at the core are all of it, okay? So going back to this, the one sentence, the one phrase, the one quote, if you will, that really was the seed that planted in the truth that I could not deny. And it was that life has to reflect back. Life has to reflect back. It has to reflect back. It has to say yes. It has to be exactly the precision of how you think it is, how you see it is, how you feel it is, okay? The universe has to reflect back with precision. So I remember thinking, what would the universe say? If the universe could write me a letter, if it could write you a letter right now, what would it say? And I think at each point in time in our lives, it would probably say something different to us. But one day I wrote a letter thinking, what would the universe say to me? And so I'd like to read that letter to you right now. Dear Erin, greetings. This is the universe, your higher self. I've been sending you signs, but it doesn't seem like you're able to receive all of them yet. There's something you need to know. There are laws of the universe you must align with if you want your dreams to come true. These universal laws bound you or set you free. Within you is a life force that is co-creating with the universe. I'm taking your order right now, 24/7. I am the ultimate mirror of the hidden beliefs within your subconscious mind. Yes, life has to agree with the beliefs within your soul 100% of the time. How you believe it is, how you say it is, and how you think it is, it is. I reflect back to you through the circumstances of your life. You see, I have to respond to your deepest desires. What you truly desire becomes your strongest will and what prevails. What you desire with the conviction of your heart is your destiny. However, desire from lack will never be your destiny. So let's talk about the law of abundance, one of so many distinctions of the one law. This law states that all of life is infinite potential and that there is only possibility. And so in order to align with this law, you must focus on possibility and creation instead of focusing on lack, fear, and problems. See, within you is the same life force that created the entire universe. You've been endowed with a profound mind and intelligence to innovate and invent anything that you desire. And so, I know this might sound a little crazy, but not everyone lives in abundance. Many people live in poverty across the world. Half the population lives on less than $2.50 per day. You may be asking yourself, how could all of life be abundant if people live on $2.50 a day? The law of abundance works 100% of the time, but you need to know that it can be aligned with or inverted for the exact opposite. Hence, you live in a relative reality in the physical world. When you flow in the current of the universal law, you will experience thriving, and when you invert it and go against the current of life, you will experience lack and scarcity. It is all from one source. And so, I know the truth of who you are and your ability to use the power for good in the universe because you are the force. You can use energy to align with Mother Earth and the natural forces, or you can create discord and experience suffering and lack. The more you align with the laws, the more you'll be able to read the signs of the universe. The truth is that you are the individual expression of divine. You are, and you have infinite resources and elemental combination to create a life you love. And so with this, you are set free. The truth is revealed and heals. It is time that you not only know the truth, but you live the truth. Life is designed for your awakening. Signed, the universe. So on that note, remembering the truth of who you are, that you are pure love, you are pure spirit, you are pure potential. And you have created order in this universe. Because otherwise, if we didn't have universal law, particles would just fly every direction. We wouldn't be able to create form. We wouldn't be able to express ourselves. We wouldn't be able to create art. We wouldn't be able to experience this dynamic thing called cause and effect. So hence, you created gravity. You created the stars. You created the order. You created this incredible thing that works with such precision. It's the mechanics of the universe, and that's called universal law. And this allows us to play a dynamic game, an incredible game with barriers and boundaries and all this stuff with certain elements. But the truth is that there's always a new way of creating a mathematical equation with the same elements. You know, how do we have metal fly in this thing called an airplane? Metal can't fly in the dynamics of just straight elements. But if you put it together with the right torque and an engine, then metal flies through the air. And that is the ability that we have with universal law to innovate and use it in the laws that it is, right? So remember that universal law is the how. It's the mechanics. It's how you manifest. It's how you use energy and create dynamic things everywhere. It's the axioms of life. It's the modes of operations. It's the unfoldment of thought through your soul into universal law. It's the triune nature of spirit, soul, body. It is how you inform and direct energy upon mind and reflect in perfect demonstration. It's the way energy is formed in the physical existence. It's the principles and physics of how we manifest and demonstrate. It is how the absolute fractalizes into the relative. Universal laws works without exception, equally and impersonally. Universal law just says yes. So remember that the extent to which you create in accordance with universal law is the degree to which you will experience your divine power. The extent to which you invert your use of energy and the universal laws is the degree to which you experience feeling powerless, divided, lonely, and in discord. Consciousness informs universal law through the soul and subjective mind, and in turn informs universal law and energy in the physical realm. So on this note, I am so honored to take this journey with you as we go down the journey of really diving deep into universal law so that you can align and not only know the truth, but live the truth and manifest a life that you love. So these podcasts will come out throughout the next 52 weeks, knowing the truth of who you are, knowing that we have the answers and that we are owning our truth, living our relative truth, and being set free. So may you live your truth and may you love your life. Have a divine day, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciété and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciété.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is DRERIN.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciété. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciété. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day and may you live your truth.